Like many of you, I started my transportation career in the mid-90s as a student driver. I was young, nothing holding me back, and had always had a love for the big trucks. I drove over the road primarily in the eastern two-thirds of the United States, pulling a reefer through congested cities and hitting those early morning dock appointments in places that were never meant for big trucks. I was enjoying my traveling career, and as luck would have it, I found a new infatuation with a great lady in my hometown. As the relationship grew, I knew I was probably going to have to make a choice, and that was either her or the truck. I chose her and snagged an opportunity with the company to move to the dark side. You got it, I went into dispatch. I enjoyed the new role. The challenge of putting those pieces together every day was awesome. It was like building a house of cards. One thing falls apart and you have to rebuild the entire plan for the day. I quickly learned that the relationship between driver and the home office can be a contentious one. But I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be that way. Most of the issues that we face really came down to two different things. First, a communication issue between the parties where critical details were left out. Assumptions are the mother of all screw-ups, and let's be honest, we make way too many assumptions about who knows what, and it costs us dearly down the road. The second is the lack of understanding or maybe just respect for the other person's role in accomplishing that goal or task. We all think we could do the other person's job, but the truth is we probably have no idea what the other party goes through on a daily basis. I'm approaching 30 years in the industry, and I can tell you there's always been a driver shortage. It's nothing new, and I doubt it's ever going to go away. The conclusion I've come up with is that we haven't always given the driver the best environments to work in. We're taking too many things for granted and fail to acknowledge the human side of their needs to do this really tough job. In 2012, I learned about an industry contest called the Best Fleets to Drive For. The goal of the contest was simple: to identify the best driver work environments with for-hire truckload carriers operating more than 10 trucks in the United States and Canada. I knew nothing about it, but as the operations manager for that reefer company, I was certainly interested in what it took to earn the designation as one of the best workplaces in the trucking industry. I jumped all in. I completed the grueling survey assessment of how we ran our company, pay, benefits, safety, maintenance, operations, and career advancement. It was all in there. Over 100 detailed questions focused on things from a driver's point of view and what we had to offer. The assessment was followed by a phone interview with the executive team and validation survey at least 25% of our drivers to confirm we actually did the things we say we do in the assessment. Top 20 fleet in North America, very first year. It was awesome. And I was hooked on the idea that we were out to give our professional drivers an outstanding place to work. Fast forward 10 years, and I'm proud to tell you that not only have I got one carrier on the top 20 list for best fleets, I have now taken a second company to that top 20 list. I'm one of two people in the US and Canada that has accomplished that, and I'm telling you, it's an amazing feeling to know that you've impacted a lot of drivers' lives and careers while on this path. So what's the secret sauce? There's nothing secret about it. You just have to be able to look in the mirror and be able to ask yourself if you are the reason something isn't working and how you can change that. My journey's taught me to listen twice as much as I speak. The answers are right in front of us if we're willing to put our ego aside and just listen. Today we run our company and often ask ourselves when facing an issue, what would a best fleet do? This guides us down a path to do the right thing by people, our people, not by a policy, an industry standard, or some spreadsheet. If we put our people first, great things are going to happen. The American Trucking Association says there are over 4 million Class 8 trucks and 1.1 million for-hire trucking companies. While the Best Fleets contest is certainly doing its part in our industry, we're simply not reaching enough drivers to have an impact. There are a lot of good carriers out there and willing to make necessary changes to better the lives of our professional drivers. But the majority of the carriers out there fail to get out of their own way, can't look in the mirror, and continue to have ridiculous driver turnover. Change simply has to happen. which leads us up to today and why we're producing this podcast. It's time to pull back the curtain and give professional drivers some insight on happening within the office walls. We'll tackle topics like how to pick the right carrier for you, what questions to ask a recruiter, driver compensation, and breaking it all down. Thank you for joining me here today for this sneak peek of Driven Too Far, the truth about trucking. Be sure to join us every week on Monday and subscribe now so you never miss an episode.